Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap Session for September the 11th, 2018. Here we are 17 years after September 11th. So take a moment and give prayer to all those that died, both in the disaster and the first responders that responded. My name's Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. We do create multiple hypotheses. These are our trade plans. We do not profess to know what the market's going to do. Therefore, we create multiple plans based on who takes control of the auction once the RTH session opens, and then we execute the plan that best suits the market. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and then we do live trading analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So looking at yesterday our main plan was an open auction just in range or just out of range, but out of value, a rotation down, and somewhere between the 81 area and the 78 area where you're looking for initiative buyers to step in and rotate us up and continue the auction towards the zipper measured move that we had that was put in Globex at 90.25, and then a push up into 95, and then coming back and closing. That didn't happen. It looked like it was going to, but it didn't. Hypo 2 was a open auction, just in range or just out of range, but out of value, a push up and a failure to get above the 92.50 or a false break above that, and then responsive sellers stepping in and rotating us down into the overnight low and that naked VPOC at 73. That didn't happen. Hypo 3 and Hypo 4 were our trend scenarios. They didn't happen. What happened was Hypo 5, which was our alternative. And we talked about the possibility that on a Monday after NFP that we could end up with sideways chop and a tight range and go sideways. Well, that was exactly what we got. We did it a little bit higher than I thought, but basically, we fought to get inside of value yesterday, and we're unable to get inside of that value, and we basically just went sideways, creating a Gaussian distribution, a balanced day, and just went sideways and did nothing. Quite boring trading for sure. Overnight we made the move down. Where's my Globex chart go? Overnight, we opened in yesterday's range, went down, tested the VPOC, and then rotated up. And it looked like they were going to continue up, and they created a very weak high here. You can see they just pounded and pounded and pounded and pounded and pounded and pounded, and they could not get above that 85. And then we had the European session, and I didn't see when it came out, but apparently China has gone to the WTO, World Trade Organization, trying to put some tariff fines or something against the U.S. And you can see we just sold off. We went through and into that value from the prior day, and then continued on, and we're pushing down towards this 69.50. Remember that our month low is down at 65. We've got a double distribution. We created a weak low and we have a weak high, but it looks like they want to push this down further. And you can see that the trying to expand this so you can see it. You can see that the OTF got very much involved with this move down. So we have, you know, other time frame participants involved. So we have the big boys, continuing to push this down with volume. So we're looking for the possibility of a fairly decent break today, either to the upside or to the downside. We don't know yet, but right now it's pointing to a continuation back towards this 58 area, this 58.50. But we'll get into that in just a couple of minutes. Let's take a look at the news. We have not a lot of news this week, but of course there's always headline news in Trump, right? And with tariffs and everything else. We've got Redbook coming out in 2 minutes. The big one, of course, today will be the JOLTS jobs. That comes at 10 o'clock. And then 11:30, we've got the 4-week, 52-week, and the 3-year note auctions. And then at 4:30, we have the API weekly crude, and that's about it for the day. So not other than the JOLTS, not a lot of headline news that we need to pay attention to. Going to the macro, I always start my day with a monthly chart, working my way down in periodicity. I use a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. I'm looking for where we are within the trend on each time frame. How strong is the trend? You can see the trend is very strong to the upside right now. We don't even challenge the trend, and this is why a pullback, a move down lower is not going to concern me that much as the sky is falling, the top is in, and we're going into recession. No, it means that it's a normal pullback on the larger time frame. We don't even challenge the trend until we get back into the 2750 area on the monthly. On the weekly, we are still in the upward trend on the weekly as well. We don't challenge the trend until we get back down into the 2853 on the weekly, and I'm looking for a move down to test this weekly 9 EMA today as a normal pullback. Okay, in this down move. Going to the daily, you can see that we did violate the one-time framing down yesterday, but we are still continuing lower, and we're breaking below the 20 SMA here at the 73.75. Keep an eye on that 73.75. If we get back above it, then we could start another up leg, okay, and what I consider to be somewhat of a bull flag that we put in on the daily. Going to the 24-hour, the 4-hour, the 240-minute, you can see that we are getting a possible trend change or trend continuation. We had this downward move during the one-time framing. They violated the one-time framing, but we're still getting continuation down. We are below the 9 and the 20. We don't have separation yet, so it could be just a short move down. But for me, if you look on the 30-minute, you can see that downward slope is starting to accelerate, and we're holding below the 9 and continuing to move down. So I am expecting some expansion to the downside, but at any point in time, and we got to keep this in mind, that those buyers could step in because we are overall in a major uptrend right now, and there's a lot of repair work that needs to be done above. We've got 4 naked VPOCs and a couple gap fills that we still have to go up and take care of. So why is this doing that? So don't get your short hats on too strongly. But right now I'm expecting the range low to expand in the Globex coming into the RTH session. So taking a look at the structure, You can see that we were one time framing down. We did violate the one time framing down yesterday by breaking the high of Friday, but we're inside this value area for the last 4 days and moving down. The overall microcomposite VPOC from the start of this microcomposite at the 820, where we broke out of the value of the lower microcomposite, that's still up at 97.50. So we want to pay attention to the fact that we're leaving value above right now. We're in price discovery down, and you can see that the last area that we accepted value before the gap up and the move up to new all-time highs is down here at the 58 and a quarter, 58.50 area. You've got this 3-day island top right there, 59.75, and then the value that was accepted just before the breakout here at the 58 and a quarter, 58.50 area. So if we don't hold this 70, I'm using 71 as my key line in the sand, because if we get above 71, I'm looking for a move back into the Globex VPOC that shifted down. But right now, you could use the 69. 75, 69.50 area if you want. That would be valid, but there's a little bit more confluence up here in the 70, 71 area. So I'm using it just a little bit above because I've got a zipper measured move right now down to 69 that was put in the Globex. Key areas to pay attention to, the 71 area, that puts us back into value and puts us outside of prior value, and a move back up into the 4-day balance up at that 80 and a quarter area is a possibility. If we break below and hold below that 71 and get below the 69.50, I'm looking for 69 as my first target below. That's the zipper measured move. But ultimately, I'm looking for a new month low to break that 65 level and push us down into this 58.50 level. So taking a look at the overnight inventory is about, I'd say, 50%. It's pretty balanced. Overnight inventory. We spent a lot of time in this upper distribution banging on that 85. That's why I'm not ruling out. In fact, my hypo 1 and hypo 2 are going to be equally weighted because of this double distribution balance. And we may see the buyers step in early today, depending on the JOLTS job numbers. But I'd say it's pretty balanced inventory with a slight edge to the downside, because you can see we put more volume off down here. So I'd say it's probably more 60-40 net short right now. So that's why a move back up into the overnight VPOC 73.50 and the VPOC could be in the cards this morning. I apologize. I got this cough coming back. So in terms of hypotheses, first of all, our 20-period daily ATR is running right now. That's the average true range for the full session, 21.49. So currently off of the overnight low of 70, our upside daily ATR is up here at 91.50. That might have to be adjusted as we push and expand this range lower, but that's where it is right now. The daily downside ATR target is down here at 63.50. So definitely capable of coming down and taking out this this month low. Currently, right now, we're sitting inside of Friday's value area. The value area low on Friday is 69 and a quarter. We have a zipper measured move. Just let me just show that so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the impulse wave right here, starts at 85, comes down, we put the zipper in right here, and we measure from there. The 61.8 extension is down here at the 69. So this remains a high probability target. Of course, yesterday we had two zipper measured moves, one to the upside and one to the downside, one that was put in Globex, that was that 90 and a quarter, and then one to the downside that was put in the RTH. And we finally made the move down to take the target out on the one put in the RTH, but we did it in the Globex. Anyway, keep in mind we do have that zipper measured move, so I am looking for that range expansion. So in terms of hypotheses, hypo 1 and hypo 2 are going to be equally weighted, meaning that it's just as easily possible that we rally from here or we break down. So in terms of hypo, we're going to open up in a gap. So we're going to gap down. Right now, if we open in the 71 area, our 50% half gap fill is going to be at 75.75. And again, this is just approximate. I'll have to adjust it when we get to the open. But that's where it's sitting right now, approximately. So in terms of hypotheses, I'm looking for a open auction out of range. I'm looking for a move up, responsive buying up into this this naked VPOC at 73.75 and the overnight VPOC at 73 and a quarter, pushing up into the half gap fill and the naked close at 75. And this is where I'm looking for initiative selling to step back in and push us down, get our impulse wave down, and push down into that zipper measured move, chop in here, okay, and then get the push lower down to put a new month low in, and the extended target is down here at 58. Will we get there today? I don't know, but based on the balance that we've seen, it's possible that we could get a bigger move down. So 58 is the overall target. Right now, the key target is a new month low down here at 65 for hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction out of range, a push down into the 69, and then try to push lower, put a new month low in, but fail to get below the 63, and then find buyers and rotate us back up towards the 78 and come back up into yesterday's value area and get a late day probe up into the 80 and a quarter to 83 area and close up here. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a liquidation break, an open auction, out of range, failure to close the gap. Sellers step in early, push us down into that 65, 63 chop here, and then liquidate and push down towards this 58 with a possible late day probe down into the 28.50, 28.49 area. Find buyers and start working our way back and closing back inside and around that former micro composite VPOC up here at the 58.50, 59 area. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a open auction out of range, failure to put in a new month low, buyers step in, rotate us up inside of yesterday's range, chopping at the naked VPOC and naked close. Buyers get a push higher, push up through the value area and push up into that 90 to 91 area, and then close somewhere in around the 85 to 88 area. That is hypo 4. A fifth hypo, which I think is low odds, is a rotational day and basically fighting the low from yesterday and the value area from Friday and basically chopping between the 68 to 78 area and just going sideways in a 10 to 12 point range. So those are my hypotheses today. It was a tough read yesterday in the market. Don't let anybody tell you it was easy yesterday. It was a tough read. Take a quick look at gold. Gold continues to see weakness. We have put in this micro composite that goes from. You can actually expand it now out to here. So let's do that. On the breakdown day, it's not going to change where the balance is. The balance is at 1202 area. We're breaking below that. We're trying to get below the value area. You can see the value area is pretty tight in here. So right now, I'd be watching this 95 area. If we fail to hold and get back inside of this 95, I'm looking for another push lower down into this 89.60 area, 89.40. And if that doesn't hold, the destination is right down here in this 83 to 84 area. And back inside of the former balance that we've got down here and where they stepped in, the buyer stepped in. But if this doesn't hold, then we could see a bigger move down in gold that could take us down into the 1150 area. But right now, I mean, we've got to think in terms for the range for the day. So I'm watching this 95 level. 95 level doesn't hold. I'm looking for at least a move down into the 1189. And then if that doesn't hold, continued push down to 84. If we can get back in and hold the 95, rotation back up into the balance and a retest to 1200. At least up to the 97 area, 96, 90, 97 area if we hold that 95. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.